I'm Gabby Lamb.
And I'm Harper-Rose Drummond.
And you're listening to Tea Time, where we talk about the nastiest, dirtiest,
naughtiest, wildest secrets.
Enjoy.
Hey guys, as you know, we do 4 extra episodes every month on Patreon, which is just $5 a month. But as of this episode, we're starting Patreon tiers.
New tiers, which means you pay a little bit of extra money for a lot of bit of extra content.
That's right. We are fucking bringing it to you. Lee, can I curse? I just did. Okay, yeah. So for our first extra tier, it's called the Honking Off. It's for $10 every month. You get everything you get in the $5 tier. Plus, we're going to start having an exclusive phone number, and you can call in and tell us your stories yourself. You can leave your story as a voicemail, and we'll listen to react on our Patreon episodes.
Love that.
And also, you get exclusive access to any recording that we do of a live show, which our live shows are pretty much the most fun in the world, so you're welcome. And also you have first access to any merch drops that we do, which stay tuned because it is coming soon.
Love to see it. And then next up, we've got a $20 honk tier, which is for the elites, for the rich, for the people who are the 1 percenters, which is who we want listening to this podcast, only the 1 percenters. Which means there are going to be merch discounts when we have merch. We love to see it. You're going to have an exclusive email address that gives your story priority. You can choose where we read your story and topic requests. We love that. We're always looking for topic requests. And if you want to pay for the $20 tier, please send us things that you would like to hear about, stories that interest you, blah, blah, blah. We love that. And you can do that in the $20 top tier honk. And you can live call on the show, which is pretty fucking cool. We're going to set up a call with you on Patreon, and you can tell us a story, ask us questions, hang out, and be a part of the show. So it'll be like you're sitting here with us.
It honestly will be. You can sit right on our metaphorical laps. That's what I was trying to say. And yeah, so those are our new tiers, and I hope you guys like it.
Patreon.com/teatime42069.
Honk, honk. Hey guys, welcome back.
Perfect start.
Okay, you're faking it.
Sorry, guys. I have active COVID. Welcome back to a beautiful.
She doesn't anymore. Her COVID's gone. She tested negative. She just has a horrific cough.
I know.
The COVID cough.
My tasting is all fucked up. I thought I had some good tea, and turns out it was rancid.
I tasted it. It's not so bad, but COVID has fucked up all of your taste buds.
It didn't taste that bad?
No.
Well, to me, it tasted like Beatles, so.
Okay, yum, yum.
Okay, your hair is extremely, very beautiful.
I just got my hair done today. For those of you who aren't watching, let me verbally break down what I look like to you right now. Think about Pamela Anderson.
Think about that.
Think about her in Baywatch.
Yeah. Think about that really deeply.
Think about the bouncing tits, the bathing suit, the bright
Think about the color
hair,
red, the color blue, and the color
down
of
the
sand.
Beach, pussy, swinging back and forth. That's what I look like right now.
Wow. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thank you.
I won't even try and,
So we feel like we're getting back on our feet because we did have to take a 2-week break. You guys didn't know that, but we did because I had to go to Italy. So I just want to tell you guys, I am having a little bit of a difficult time right now adjusting to the United States.
Your English is really good.
Thank you. I did forget how to speak English entirely, so I'm kind of like getting back on my feet with it.
It's really beautiful how quickly you adapt.
Yeah, well, that's because I'm highly intelligent. So
yeah, well, we learned that from your 23andMe.
So, excuse you, I'm in the middle of something.
Thank you so much. Yeah, let's get to it. Yeah.
So Italy, I just, I immediately get there and I am just
I immediately get
there and I'm in touch with the culture. I get there, I say, I'm not American.
Yeah, it's almost hard for you to find the words in this language right now.
It is hard for me to find the words in this language. Ciao.
Grazie,
I would say bellissimo. Si.
Yeah.
Prego ciao.
Okay. Yeah. Lee, are you getting
Do you not know what that means?
Lee, can you keep up?
I was transported to Italy.
I know. I can smell.
Yeah,
olives
did I take
right
you
now.
there?
Yeah, you
Yes,
took me
you
there.
can
Yeah, I
the
can smell
olives.
olives.
We
It might be your
did-
breath. I'm not sure, but
We had a villa out in the Tuscan hills.
why don't you explain to the poors what a villa is?
A villa is so beautiful, so bellissimo. It was. I'll wait.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little sick.
Okay, you are giving. I don't know. It's so
I'm really perfect right now. Sorry, keep going.
right. So the villa was.
Wait, don't make me laugh too much because I'm gonna cough.
It was about 3 hours outside of Roma. And we had to take.
I'm really trying not to.
You can laugh. You don't have a cough.
It's so fucking funny.
Okay, you guys, trigger warning. If I cough, I'm actually laughing. So just really just emotionally adapt to that. Okay. So talk about your
Sorry, the villa. The villa.
Yeah, Lee, it's double L's. I don't know why you're laughing.
Sorry,
It's your culture now.
We took a. It's just a lot with the coughing.
Well, there's going to be more, so buckle up.
Okay. So anyway, Lee's not listening, but I'll take I'll take you there. So we leave Roma and we take our we have a chauffeur to take us to the villa, which is on an olive orchard where they make their own olive oil. They make their own.
I could almost not you just almost started speaking Italian. Right there.
So they make their own olive oil on this resort.
Yeah.
And I am, the words are escaping me with how hauntingly beautiful this villa in Tuscany was.
Yeah.
There were 30 of us staying there.
A quaint group.
Maybe it was less than 30. I don't know. My cousin paid for it all. Don't talk to me. I have no money to my name. He paid for everything. He paid for my ticket. He paid for my stay at the villa. And I didn't have to pay a fucking dime because I don't have any money.
And that's the cousin that sings our fucking theme song.
Sings our fucking intro, the hot one. And he just got married to another very successful songwriter. So,
now you have an extra hot cousin.
I have an extra hot cousin. They both are songwriters. They both make very good money.
They are not looking for a third. That is hard for you. That was probably the hardest thing you had to endure.
It was very difficult watching them get married and being like, it could have been
Should have been you. I mean, yeah, no disrespect to them. Very happy, but
to them.
It looked beautiful. And it looked like you had a good time.
Whose side are you on, Lee?
Yeah, it looked nice.
It was bellissimo. And the food, yes.
I went to Italy when I was a senior in high school.
Where did you go?
A few of those places. I went to Florence.
Yes.
I went to
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Florence.
We didn't do Tuscany. We did
shit you missed.
We did Venice.
Yes.
Luca, Assisi.
Oh.
Luca, is that like that Pixar movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, it is.
Stopped in Rome and then spent a week after on an island called Ischia off the coast of Naples.
So beautiful.
Okay, I'm honestly obsessed. Right now, Instagram is very triggering for me because whenever I click on someone's story, every single person right now is vacationing in Italy.
Literally everyone's in Italy right now. Post Malone is in fucking Italy right now. Everyone's in Italy. Don't talk to me about it. I want to go back to my motherland. Food was delicious. Best food I've ever had in my life.
We're going to get right
now
back.
You're Italian?
She is Italian. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm having soup every single day. So for the entire time that you were in Italy, I got COVID like the day after you left.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fucking get it from you and Joy when it's in the house. I don't know where I got it. I'm pretty sure
Joy and I were having a fucking gag off.
Gave it to you?
Somehow you gave it to me. I don't know. But I don't know.
How would I even give it to you?
I don't know.
You got it from your fucking hippie ritual.
No.
It was her hippie ritual. Oh, yeah, she did from the Grateful Dead. Yeah, she did.
Yeah. No, I think I'm pretty sure I got it from this crazy guy in San Diego. But here's the thing. That's neither here nor there. All I know is I was in bed eating the same hot soup and mint tea every single day and looking at your beautiful Italian adventures.
And it was beautiful. And then everybody at my cousin's wedding ended up getting COVID because it was a super spreader event.
Gorgeous.
I didn't because, I had just, what's the word in English? recovered. I'm having a hard time. My English is just coming back to me.
I honestly can't with you. But here's the thing.
We might have to call a
I
translator.
thought we were done with the bit.
Oh, no. The bit.
It's not a bit.
It's not a bit. It's her lifestyle. Please be respectful.
Thank you.
Lee's not used to talking to people of other cultures. But here's the thing.
Clearly not. Here's the other thing.
Here's the first thing, because we already know that I have truly zero stories to tell, but you do have something if you're comfortable sharing on the podcast.
Well, I have two things.
Well, your tone of voice was very triggering.
Well, because we have to talk about my cat really quickly. Don't talk to me about how I almost had a mental breakdown in Italy over my cat Pablo because, I left when she was so sick. And I was worried to my core. And I left out very stern and strong directions.
You did, okay, so Honk wrote out, there was 2 pages of notes. And like,
very specific
I literally,
directions.
before I got sick, I was like, Honk, like, I'm pretty sure I got it because I'd been helping you, give her the fucking pills. But I'm like, Honk, just write out the directions for Joy and I. We got it. Okay. I get deathly fucking ill and I can't even fucking leave my room. So I'm just like in bed. Anyways, continue. So you have the 2 pages.
So I leave the pages of notes and then I text them repeatedly the directions on what to feed her, what to give her at what time. I come back. Well, I hear from the grapevine, Honk.
Okay, you're a snitch. You're a rotten snitch. You could have heard from literally Gust from anyone else.
Anyway, none of the directions were paid attention to. Joy ended up mixing water with dry food. Old dry food.
Y'all, okay, here's the tea.
First of all, she was supposed to be on a very strict fucking diet.
Only wet food and like whole grain or
no grain, fucking simple ingredients.
Such a wet food was just wet food.
So, no, it was wet. It was a simple ingredient wet food. And anyway, I write this down and I fucking underline it. And I'm like, you need to give her this.
And you had the food there and you go, look, I'm going to run out. And you left a 20 on the notepads. I left
a crisp 20 and I said,
and your car keys. And you're like, look, even though Joy has a car, but you're like, look, just go get the food when it runs out. Like, there you go.
Here's the money. This is what I need you to get. Here's everything right here. I couldn't be more specific. This bitch not only doesn't get the food, puts fucking water to mix up her dry food, chucks it in a fucking bowl.
And it hardened and made this bizarre mixture. And I go, oh, this is fucked up. Let me go and try and clean it out. And I get like a knife to like try and like chisel away at the concrete cat food.
Yeah.
And I almost lurch. I almost projectile vomit. And like I could barely smell at this point because I have full on COVID. But still, that's how strong and putrid the smell was from whatever concoction, whatever witch's brew.
Because she'll always I'll go into my fucking bathroom sometimes, which is where the cat food is, and she'll have like thrown pieces of, I don't know, raw meat into their bowls.
Innards. Yeah.
Innards of something, things I can't even decipher what they are.
Yeah.
And I'll say, what the fuck is this? And she's like, it's a chicken goblet. They'd like it.
No, you would
giblets.
Whatever
she gives them chicken giblets.
Who knows? You need a fucking archaeologist to come and like look through this cat bowl.
So I said, don't fucking feed her any weird shit. Feed her exactly what I told you. Doesn't listen to any of the directions. I say the other one main thing, I'm like, please change the motherfucking litter box. You need to keep an eye.
I'm dead. So then I go down. So by this time, what is it?
I'm on day 7. We're 7 days.
Day 7. That's the first day that I can like move around. So I go downstairs, and then that's when I kind of like investigate the cats because I'm like, oh, Joy's been doing all the heavy lifting. Or in this case, just lifting. And so I go and I look in the bowl. I go, okay, oh no. And then I go
overflowing with fucking shit and piss.
And then I remember, I'm like, oh my God, the fucking cat litter. And so I go in there and I don't, I never change it because you're always doing it. So I'm like, I don't know how much is normal, is not. But I'm like, oh, that seems to be a lot.
You can tell when there's far too much shit in a litter box.
And there was far too much.
So I call Joy. I'm enjoying, where am I? Florence at the time. I call her. I'm in my hotel. I'm lounging. Could be having a better time, enjoying my grapes. And I get this message from Honk, who's like, hey, litter box is full of shit. And I'm like, don't get me fucking started.
No, because the Louisiana friends are listening and every word you say is going directly
and they can listen to this because I fucking call her ass and I'm like, Joy, I'm trying not to fucking lose my shit. And I'm like, gotta tell me the truth. Have you cleaned the litter box? And she goes, she's in Fresno. She's like, no. And I was like, bitch, it's day 7. I've been gone for 7 fucking days and you haven't changed a fucking litter box. And she's like, no. And I was like, what'd you feed him? And she's like, so I mixed some water with some dry food. And I said, bitch, you did everything wrong.
It was literally everything on the
wrong.
list. Well, and here's the thing. So you were texting me. You're like, hey, can you check this? Can you check that? Like, I know you have COVID. Sorry, but can you just do this, this, and this? I'm like, yes. Okay. And so I'm sending you videos of the cat. I'm doing, and then I changed the litter box. You're like, put the food outside. I'm like, okay. So I put the food outside.
Old nasty food. That's
Whatever.
Filled with shit.
And then I put 2 new bowls out. Then a few days later, I go downstairs.
No.
I'm going to cough. 2 days later, I go downstairs.
No.
And this bitch put fucking chicken noodle soup remains or some shit in the new bowls.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm so fucking...
After Gabby had already freaked out on her.
I'm so fucking pissed. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm so fucking pissed.
Can we just say that the moral of the story
Oh my God.
is that the cat's fine?
The moral of the story is that she
Pablo
still
is
has a bit of a cough and her meow is coming back, but she's good.
She's completely fine. But it was just so fucking funny.
She's coming
How
back.
like it was like your biggest worry, and you're like, please just do everything. And then Joy did
None
the
of it.
complete opposite.
Joy did none of it, and then I scream at her, and she's like, "I think it helped her," and I was like, "Fuck you." I said, "Fuck you."
And then right when Gabby walks in the door, I'm like making some tea. I'm like, oh my, I'm in the kitchen making some tea. And then Joy's like, sorry, I disappointed you.
Mocking me. Sorry.
Oh, I like my butthole like clenched. I was like, oh no. I thought it was gonna be a fight. But then you just didn't respond to it at all. You're like, anyways, I got you and Harper some truffle or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I'm dead.
You give her presents.
And then
I
got
will
her
say
presents.
your self-control, and not just with this, but like when like your dude gets mad or like when anyone gets mad at you, your self-control is is A1 because you literally just like absorb it, and it's very, very.
I do envy that a lot.
Yeah,
Totally.
because I'm very
Yeah.
impulsive.
I'm the same. I get real hot.
I get hot, but then I have to remember to like take a breath, and I listen, and I'm like, okay, don't react.
See, the not reacting.
The
thing, I
not
don't
react,
get that,
that's
yeah.
a
And my
very.
mom fucking pushed me to my fucking edge though the other day. She kept fucking screaming at me. Oh, this bitch. I start fucking screaming back at her. Fuck her. Fuck her. She starts fucking pushing me to my goddamn edge, yelling
About
at me.
what?
I don't even fucking remember. I blacked it out because I was
I
so
remember.
goddamn angry.
You said, okay, well, we're not going to say that.
When you're already home from Italy?
It's no,
it's
this is
pre-Italy.
before.
This is like 2 days
I won't say
before.
what it's about because that's private, but I will
Okay.
say the thing that set you off was the fight's not even about this, and her mom's like, your tattoos hurt my feelings. They hurt my feelings.
So then she gets into the tattoos hurting your feelings. I'm like telling her how much I'm fucking struggling for money, and I'm like so stressed out because like my cat's
me.
sick, and like I'm like I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't have any fucking money.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. And then she's like screaming at me about something, and I was just like, "Listen up, motherfucker! You drove me to my fucking edge, bitch!" I was like, "I'm fucking seeing red right now, and I didn't want to fucking yell at you." And I lost my fucking.
You just
Your
got
face
red.
just got so red, yeah.
Oh, I fucking
Oh, wow.
lost it on her ass.
You did.
I was like, "See, this is what you fucking do to me!"
And then you went fucking Hulk smash on your birth mother, and then 2 days later, you're walking around Italy like holding her arm, like da-da-da-da-da.
How was that? How is traveling with your mom?
It was annoying. I mean, no, it was fine. It was.
No, you guys had cute times, but
we
I
had a
think
cute time. She just doesn't shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
we're everywhere we're going because it was me, her, and Shane, and everywhere.
Shane's her boyfriend. For those of you who don't know,
And my mom is walking around the whole time. Shane and I are just trying to enjoy the city and like just take everything in, have a good
have
time.
a romantic time.
My mom's
like,
fucking waddling behind us because she's slow. My hip is hurting me. And, when you guys get older, she's smoking, she's fucking like drunk the whole time. And we're trying to look at this fucking scenery. We're looking at the Coliseum.
Your
And
mom
my
is
hip.
so fucking funny.
She wouldn't shut the fuck
Oh
up.
my God, your mom is so fucking
We get
funny.
into the fucking taxi, and then she like puts on these weird fake accents when she's around people.
Oh, I'm dead.
And it was just,
Wait, does she do that thing
and
where
then
like
Shane's sitting in the back looking at me going like this. Pretending to shoot himself in the face because he's like, she doesn't shut the fuck up.
it's funny because like you were saying, you're like Shane was like buying all her meals and like it was being like a gentleman towards her, but then like she would like waddle off and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill her.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Dad.
I have, traveling with family is
It's
is next level.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
It's hard. Well, at least so I think that our moms are similar in this way, but like, like our moms will be like, oh my God, honey, you're just my darling daughter. I love you so much. And then like on like hour 3, they're like, why do you do that? Why do you walk like that? And I'm like, God damn it. Why do your tits look like that? I'm like, all right, mom.
Yeah.
So you're
it
like,
hurts me to look at you. And then my fucking cousin's wedding, one of my cunt aunts. She's
God.
fucking there. This bitch, she looks at me and she's like, I haven't seen her in a while. She's like, whatever.
Shout out to Nadia.
I don't want to say too much about her. But she is the family's enemy. And she sees me and she's like, I'm just having a hard time getting used to what you've done to your face. I know. And then Shane's like, we are not doing this anymore.
I love that he had your fucking back.
And my mom was doing the same thing. And he's like, every night you do this. I'm not listening to this to my aunt who he just met. And he's like, I don't want to hear this.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And that was
Shut that shit the fuck down.
Yeah, that's what you need.
I know.
Or else, it's like bullying.
It was like
It
bullying.
is fucking bullying. Leave her the fuck
There
alone.
were a lot of things that I was like, oh, this isn't normal. And Shane was like, no. And I was like, oh, this is why I'm fucked up. Anyway, I took an Ambien, fuck Shane on Ambien, blacked out, don't remember it. And hey, who knew that you blacked out so severely on Ambien?
Well, apparently a man who just got arrested for sexual assault.
I saw that.
Someone on an airplane did. So anyway, this is the story that I've been most excited for you to share on the pod.
I'll hurry it up because we got to get into these stories.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay, Lee.
Yeah, Lee. I don't need.
I took a fucking Ambien. I blacked out. I don't remember fucking my boyfriend. I guess I role played with him. Don't remember.
Tell them what the role play was.
I guess I was his boss, and he was my employee. And I kept going to him. Shh. I kept saying, "Shh, nobody can know about this." And he didn't know that I was blacked out on Ambien.
When was this?
In my last name, Natalia, and in Florence. And
why do you took the Ambien early?
I took the Ambien to go to sleep. I was so stressed out thinking about my fucking cat. And I was like, I need to take the edge off. I need to sleep. And then I guess I just stayed up past the time that you were supposed to sleep.
And you blacked out.
I blacked out.
And had some role play sex.
And had role play sex. And then he was like, then he thought I was joking the whole time. He didn't know I was blacked out on Ambien.
So you were telling me.
I
kept being like, shh, people can hear us. People can hear us.
I kept saying, shh, people can hear us. Nobody can find out about this. And then I turned him in to my boss, and I was the employee. And then I guess at some point I started telling him to bring other employees in so they could fuck us. And I don't remember any of it. And the next morning I said, did we have sex? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't remember. I was like, did you come? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, where? And he's like, on your face, because you told me to. And I was like, well, I don't.
That's a lot for a public episode.
That is a lot.
It, Lee?
that
was a taste of our Patreon.
That was.
Now let's get into the stories.
Oh, so I just have a quick follow-up question.
Yeah.
Is role playing normal for you guys?
Not at all. That's the first time I've ever done it.
It's so funny because it's literally not.
So
I've never done that.
Is this like a deep-seated thing that like you want to be into more?
Fuck if I know. I was on Ambien. I don't even remember doing it. I've never had
Have
this.
you thought about role playing at all before?
No.
That's hilarious.
No.
That's so fucking funny.
I don't know.
It's so fucking funny. Especially after that Patreon episode where you're like, I don't view sex like that and I just don't like it. And then you're like, yeah.
And then role play comes out.
Role play comes out. He said that I was telling.
On my face, my employee.
Come in my face. Let's fuck our employees. He said at one point I was telling him that I was eating out a girl while he was fucking me. And it just turned into this whole thing.
Jesus Christ.
Good for you. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any memory of it, so I don't know if it was fun.
Sounds fun for Shane.
Fun for Shane.
Shane made the whole thing.
Yeah, can you imagine? All right, let's fucking get into these fucking stories.
I think
you guys get it.
Start this week.
I honestly don't
Who
remember.
even knows?
Do
you want to start? Do you want me to start? Who gives a fuck? I just talked for a million hours. You want to go? You go.
Sure. Okay. Okay, I have so many stories. A bitch was waiting for this one. I didn't want it to be too long, but I sent a few. You don't have to read them all if they're too long. I didn't want to use my laptop, so I typed it on my phone. Okay, girl. One time, there was a lady who I picked up at 2 a.m. to go to a CT scan. This was the brain unit that typically had old and very confused people. I had just recently shaved my head, so while I was pushing the stretcher into the hallway, she screams, "Are you a girl?" And I'm like, "Last I checked, yeah." And she says, still screaming, well, if you are a girl, you look like you give your nookie out to just anybody. So I'm like, my nookie? And this lady goes, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
What?
Your pussy.
What?
I was called a slut in old people speak.
This is a dementia place?
This is a dementia place. She sent a few story. Okay, let's see. I used to have patients that would just rip their IVs and drains out.
No.
One lady would tear out her NG tube, don't know what that is, every night, which is a drain connected to suction. It sucks out bile and stuff after surgery. It goes into your nose and down into your stomach/GI tract. Like, I had her restrained in mitts and wrist restraints. She was 96 or something. She would Houdini her little ass out of them. I'd walk away for 5 minutes and it would be out again. She yoinked that shit out 3 separate times. And she goes, my nose and throat hurt. They're bleeding. And I'm like, well, no shit, Sherlock. Another time, I was putting a patient's mask on for them while they were in the hallway. And I made a clown honk noise as I went to bend the wire to her nose.
Stop. Honk, honk.
And she slapped me hard across the face.
Honk, honk.
And I was like, why? Why would you do that? And she just shrugged and went, you're not funny.
No. No.
I'm sorry, but that's so fucking mean.
That's so
fucking funny.
Fucking mean.
Just, why would you do that? You're not funny. Honestly,
Okay.
She Will Smithed you. Okay. In transport, I had to pick up body parts. So sometimes if someone had an amputation, I'd pick up like their arm or leg and stuff. Those were collectively our favorite jobs because they were so ridiculous. Like, yeah, let me just go grab this leg from the OR and drop it off on the limb shelf in the morgue real quick. Like, that's a normal thing people do for money. LMAO. One time I was walking around the ER and saw a lady's foot dangling from her ankle. Don't rubberneck at a level 1 trauma center if you can help it. Rubberneck?
Like there's something weird right here.
Like when there's traffic and everybody's rubbernecking because there's an accident.
Okay.
Like double look.
I was just kidding. I know what that means.
Doesn't her voice sound so fucked?
Yeah. Her voice is a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Wait.
I was just thinking you also look very skinny. Like you haven't eaten anything for 2 weeks.
I haven't because everything I eat tastes very disgusting. Okay.
Wait, what about me?
You look great. You look so skinny.
Okay, try not to come, Lee. Try not to fucking burst right now.
I just need to know because I've been eating a lot.
Okay, but not you saying I look skinny. Okay.
Her voice. It sounds like it's like shake. Like you're gonna like break.
Like it's
wait. Is it like
it's elderly?
Is it bad? Like this?
It sounds like you could barely talk. Like it's painful for you to talk.
It is painful to talk.
It's okay. You're doing a lot better than I thought you were.
Okay. Sorry. Well, anyway, she just said, I don't work at the hospital system anymore. I'm trying to go to that one that has union because I'm sick of being treated like poop. Love you guys dearly. Keep it up. XOXO. Okay. Oh, and then one time she was walking with a salad in her hand and then someone started coughing and projectile throwing up blood. And then she still ate the salad as she was walking by.
Nice.
Wait, hold on. Somebody projectile vomited into her salad and she kept eating it?
You know what? I apologize. That was lazy of me.
That was.
I summarized it because I was trying to get out of reading it. But you know what?
I got it.
One more paragraph and then it's on to you. Okay. Another time, I was walking down the hallway on a very empty Saturday morning and was about to go on break. I had my little salad in my hand. I was minding my business. This patient was getting rolled down in a hospital bed by 2 ICU nurses. And I was thinking, ew, where's his mask? And then he started to cough. And I was like, lovely. And then he started to projectile vomit blood.
No.
Like everywhere.
No.
4 feet away from me. And I wasn't a nurse I wasn't a nurse's aide yet. I was just transport. So I'm like, y'all need anything? The paper towels across the way, a code maybe? Because what the fuck was I going to do, you know? And they're like, no, we're good. The nurses plugged in the bed, raised the head up so he wouldn't choke on his vomit and kept on trucking. If you're wondering if that ruined my appetite, it didn't. I still ate my salad.
Okay,
There
so
we
what
go.
you said when you summarized it was that a man projectile vomited into her salad and she kept eating it.
Well, that's not what I meant.
So I am glad that you ran that back because the image you left me with was
no, I think that you're
She's
struggling.
just eating vomit soupy salad.
Yeah, I know. That's
I mean,
that's
she
the picture.
probably ate some blood particles, like 4 feet away. CDC wants you to be 6 feet away.
I miss my old Honk's voice.
Okay, well, guess what? It's never coming back. COVID takes forever to fucking heal. This is really.
I know it does. It's a nightmare.
I've like the depression. Like I know I sound fucked up. I honestly feel fine, but I sound like this, and my depression is so fucking.
Yeah, it sucks. It does.
Because
Fucking
like, it's just so bad. But
See, I got it. So I was also sick, right? At the same time you were sick. And we had the same symptoms. And then you just like got worse and I got better.
yeah, you did get better. But
Yeah.
I really appreciated the fruit lead. That was really fucking good.
Yeah.
That was like one of the only things I fucking ate that didn't taste like fucking rotting
Lee tried
flesh.
to fuck Harper again while I was in.
He came over to
ET.
our apartment and he had his fucking dick out of his pants, and I was so sick I couldn't even like. I was like, honestly, I don't know what you're doing right now. And he was like, I bought fruit and something else, and I was like, all right, put your dead baby bird away because I don't want to fucking see
Don't
that.
say dead baby bird.
I brought over. She was honored. She was dying. I was getting
Was
better,
dying.
and she's dying. And I was going to the store, and so I just bought double what I was getting for myself, which was electrolyte juice.
That's really
Getting
nice.
electrolyte and some berries and pineapple.
That's really nicely.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, Lee.
So let's go. Let's move on.
Here's the thing: Lee had a date the other night,
We do have to talk about that. Lee did have a date. Lee had a date.
and it wasn't with me, and it wasn't with Gabby, so it was with someone else.
So let's talk about. Well, let's talk about on Patreon though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
it's more
But here's the
incentive for you
thing:
guys.
subscribe to the Patreon because Lee went on a date and with a human woman, and he did not pay for her to go on the date. I mean, like he didn't pay her to. It was like an actual real date, and we will be talking about it later. And now it's Gabby.
Subscribe to the Patreon to hear that. Okay. So I have a story for you. Mind you, I've been a nurse for 11 years. So this one, even for me, was scandalous and did not expect the plot twist ending. That means you know it's real bad. We had a 68-year-old male, predominantly Spanish-speaking male come in. Okay. And had an off-like dirty appearance. So naturally, most of the staff labeled him as homeless. Dirty fingernails, urine aroma, hair messy, the works. I also had to mention most of the staff assumed he was gay by the way he was talking to the staff and hitting on our male nurses. And we assessed him. He had told us he was homeless and single and having a hard time getting back on his feet. I'm not laughing because he said that, but I'm laughing because I know it's happening in the end. And just rereading, that's funny. Okay. So he said, I am also laughing because he said he's homeless. Okay. He said
he said he's homeless and single.
He said he's homeless and single. Yeah.
Ready
He
to mingle.
said he had had
Send it my
abdominal
way.
pain that was severe. He appeared nervous and sweaty and seemed like he was hiding something. When the x-rays came out, all of the staff's mouths dropped. The man had a giant-sized Aqua Net hairspray can
Oh
in his colon.
no!
Nice.
So, as almost everyone knows, or at least anyone in healthcare knows, it's not uncommon to see men shoving things up their anus.
Oh my heavens!
Sometimes what can happen is that if the object continuously gets forced, it can eventually get stuck up there. What people don't realize is that it can suck as well and act as a vacuum, right? So then it's in there and it just goes, pulls it deeper into your body. If the object stays too long, the patient can get septic and die if the object cannot be pulled from the anus first. So, with multiple attempts, the physicians were unsuccessful taking out the Aquanet. So he had to have an emergency surgery. Can we look up what an Aquanet?
Aquanet is hairspray. It's just like a.
Oh.
It's just like a What's the term?
Brand?
Like yeah, it's a brand, but like what's the term for like when it's in a can and it's
Canister? No.
it's like
Aerosol.
aerosol. Yeah,
He has
it's
a
like
fucking
so it's like square kind of
Big
like
ass
aerosol can.
can.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck?
Like a cylinder.
We need to
That's
unpack
the
this.
shape is a cylinder.
I'm losing my fucking mind. Okay. So the physicians were unsuccessful at taking the Aquanet, so he had to have emergency surgery. This is insane. Next thing we knew, he had an older woman arrive looking for our patient. When we asked about her relationship with the patient, to which she responded quickly, "I'm his wife." My eyes widened as I said he is currently having surgery. She started to panic and asked if he was going to be okay, to which I said yes, and the physician will speak with you when the surgery is over. She asked what happened, to which I lied quickly and said he has a gastric bleeding and he needed a colonoscopy. Once the patient awoke, the surgeon was with him and asked why he had lied about his current circumstances, and he had just responded because he didn't want to die or die from his wife finding out the truth. So the truth is that he's gay and shoving canisters up his asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We asked him if he could, and he's not homeless. Okay. And we asked him if he could inform the spouse regarding the real reason for his admission. He did not want her to know. I was stunned and shocked. Even his demeanor changed when they were together. He wanted a shower. His voice deepened. His loud, obnoxious hitting on the nurses was no longer an issue. However, I noticed the wife crying in the waiting room. I asked what was wrong. She said she felt something was wrong. She feels like her husband is dying and wouldn't tell her. I assured her he wasn't dying and that he would be okay. And because I'm obligated by HIPAA to not say anything at all I can do was empathize with this woman. That poor look on her face of worry and distraught had me more concerned than the patient's safety ultimately. So I did my best attempt to give her a clue without really saying anything. I looked at her hair and I said, "Ma'am, you can really use some volume in your hair." I hoped this gave her a clue to look for her missing hair care products.
Oh.
I never knew the outcome of that situation. All I know is I hope they're both doing okay.
I hope she got your fucking hint. And otherwise, she's like,
such a rip.
"Oh my God."
Can you imagine? Like, you're in there crying over your husband.
And then they're like, no, he's not dying, but your hair.
Yeah. But girl, you could really use some volume.
Maybe
Do you
your
have any
man wouldn't be
hairspray?
dying if your hair didn't look like absolute shit.
You're a little flat.
So go
Yeah.
home and look for that hairspray, honey.
Yeah, he's not flatlining, but your hair is. It's like, okay.
Okay, that was good. Okay, fuck off. That was good. That was fucking good.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, so this guy's shoving fucking cans of hairspray up his ass. It's hard for me to, because you do hear about this shit happening all the time. It's hard for me to like imagine having something that big stuck inside of your body. Like, it blows
We'll
me
take
away.
another Ambien, and then maybe you guys could figure that out.
I know, that's true.
Do some canister play.
How the fuck do people fit this
So-
much shit inside of themselves?
It is amazing.
So when I was a teenager, my
Oh no, we already know that what you shoved. You shoved a fucking cat up there.
No.
Okay.
So when I was a teenager, my stepfather was a medical technician in an emergency room.
Oh.
So he would do like intake on people coming in. He would do the EEGs. He would do like vital signs. He's like the first person that you see when you go into an emergency room.
Mhm.
And he said that the amount of men who come in with things stuck in their ass is astronomical.
It's
like
so wild, though.
it's like more than 50% of the people that they see is men with stuff stuck in their butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
It's like the curiosity is perverse.
And he said because what happens is well, a lot of the time it's because they're having sex with their significant other,
Yeah.
which is usually heterosexual relationships.
Mhm.
And so the women aren't usually used to sticking stuff in people's butts. And so what will happen is they'll find something to use as like a dildo, and then he'll ask for more, and it will get lost in there because as soon as it gets like past like the hole, it gets like sucked in and you can't like pinch it.
Really?
Yeah. So that's how stuff gets
Ask
stuck in your
for
butt.
So,
more?
honey, ask and you shall receive. But also, I mean, it just sounds like we need better sex education. I guess don't stick it
Or
this
not
far.
a stigma against going out and getting sex toys.
That's true. Yeah, like you
Boom.
shouldn't be at home shoving fucking canisters up your
Yeah,
asshole.
you don't. You're like a
That is
fucking
true.
like
That's a
turkey baster or
get a
whatever the fuck.
dildo. But that shit gets stuck up there too, doesn't it?
You need one with balls on it. That's
Yeah,
what
you do need one with balls on it. Is that what those balls are for?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Or if it doesn't, if it's made for butt play, usually it's tapered or has like a
So it
thing
doesn't
on
get
the
fucking
end.
lost in there.
So it doesn't get lost in your butt.
The more you know.
God, how long had that been in there to like?
The Aquanet.
Yeah.
Oh God, that is so uncomfortable.
Okay, what I was thinking too is then if the cap was on it and then does the cap come off inside him? And now is it two pieces?
Oh my heavens. I don't fucking know, but this
That's
visual is very, very hideous.
All right. That was pretty fucking gnarly.
I love that it didn't phase you at all. You're like, yeah, now there's two things.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like throwing up and you're like, next story.
Obviously.
No, I have a headache.
Why?
We're
I think because I had
in here.
Are we?
Are you okay?
I know. I had too much caffeine today. You have COVID.
Sure. Okay. Hi, gorgeous honks and hentai Lee. If only you guys knew what Lee was into now, you wouldn't be saying hentai. I'll tell you that much. Oh, okay. Absolutely love y'all. Been listening since tea time with solo Gabby, but y'all are all hilarious, and the Patreon is my favorite thing ever. I was a nurse for 10 years before I left the profession in 2021. So many cursed stories. I have primarily worked in mental health and substance abuse. The two tend to go hand in hand. The craziest job I had when I was in crisis stabilization unit. The craziest job I had was in a crisis stabilization unit. We would get 2013s and 1013s, which are involuntary holds for substance abuse or suicidal ideation. And once they go to our facility, they were fucking livid. We had a full-blown padded room, a shatterproof plexiglass covered nurses station, breakaway lanyards so people wouldn't try to choke us with them.
What?
A steel garage door with a little opening to hand out meds and absolutely no security. But they did make us take this yearly course of how to take down the clients without harm.
No.
Super helpful. Discharged clients would come back to the facility and try to find us. It was such an unsafe job. Oh my God.
Dude.
Anyways, there was this dude who came and would fake withdrawal seizures to get the girls, nurses and CNAs to run into his room. He would be laying on his bed with the biggest heart on.
No!
Lee, no pants on, waiting for us to touch him.
No!
Lee, check his vitals to make sure he was okay.
Something you would do, fake a seizure to get somebody to fucking finger you.
With my pussy out?
Yeah, it is.
I'd be like, oh no!
It really is.
Wouldn't be the first time, sweetie.
I know.
Okay. Let's see. No pants on, waiting for us to touch him. Smart man. Check his vitals to make sure he was okay. He did this at least twice a day for the entire week he was there.
No.
Should have done it 3 times. He knew he would have to come if someone said he knew someone would have to come if he said he was seizing and do the protocol.
Someone would have to come.
Someone always
It's
should
gonna
come.
be him.
Yes. Okay. He would walk around with shorts. Oh my God. He would walk around with shorts and stand right next to the glass where you'd be charting with this massive
Shut up.
this massive hard dick.
So
it
it's
was
big.
so gross. One day I was in the day room talking to another client, and this motherfucker put it next to my face. So when I turned my head, his dick hit my face in front of everyone.
Are you kidding me?
That's fucking wretched. I worked there for 4 years, been spit on, slapped, kicked, hair pulled, called every name under the sun, threatened, shit literally thrown at me, and all for around $25 an hour. Also, alcohol was by far the hardest withdrawals to watch. Congrats on your sobriety.
Wow.
Anyway, cheers to never wearing scrubs again.
Wow. Wow.
It's really interesting because the ones that you were sending me, a lot of these were like, I'm not a nurse anymore. I don't work in healthcare anymore. It's like a like you do your time and then you leave, like type of career.
After taking in all this shit, you'd be like, I can't fucking do this anymore.
Well, especially for that amount of money in your deal and with no security in your deal, you're getting sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've primarily worked in mental health and substance abuse. The two go hand in hand. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Ooh, crisis stabilization unit.
And
never a dull moment though. I mean, come on.
You're not leaving work bored.
You're not leaving work bored. You're coming out of here with fucking stories.
So it just makes me think that, like, because I'm in therapy now, but So you just must be so tense all the time. Like you just must.
Oh, that PTSD must be like
you're just reacting all the time. Like there's never a calm moment.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also crazy to me that like people go into mental facilities for like only a week at a time. You know,
Yeah.
like what?
Was there a dick?
oh my God.
That
What?
was a photo. There was photos attached to one of them.
What?
Gabby, you sent me this fucking email
What?
and this girl sent me a fucking foot. I think that was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And I
Can I?
actually just opened it.
Can I see?
Oh my God. Gabby has to read it then if you can't even look at it.
Okay, I'll tell you. Yeah, you have to read it. That's what I'm saying.
Forward it to me.
It
so
is
I can...
so okay. I know.
Oh man, this is a disgusting
I know.
fucking
Let me
picture.
see.
I just started like I wasn't trying to cut that story short. I was just trying to like get like,
No,
whatever.
it's fine.
And I accidentally opened it and I was like,
God.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
I don't
How
want to.
does that even happen?
All right, let me see.
Wait, show Lee. I'm not looking.
This is not a trigger warning for the.
I mean, have you ever seen anything more disgusting? Actually, you know what? The
It's
cat
like,
bowls.
I don't know if I'll put this up. It's like black.
Do it for a split sec. Do a jump scare.
It's okay. It's underneath the toes. And
If y'all know what a planter's wart is, imagine that times
Holy
5
yeah,
million.
It's like underneath
shit.
the toes and like the ball of the foot. And it's like black and surrounded by green. And it's like a gangrenous, like
I'm getting more tea.
it's like a gangrenous, like wasting away foot.
Holy.
Just to
You have to
describe
put that
it.
on the episode.
Okay.
Lee, how do you do this?
And give a fucking trigger warning because it is disgusting. There are fucking maggots in it. Yeah, there are maggots in it. Okay, today is
sorry.
really a wild nightmare.
Oh my God, my back is so sweaty.
Honk has fucking COVID to sin. This is horrific.
Okay, remember that girl? Or maybe it was a guy. I don't know. Someone
So
sent us
bad.
like a really fucked up picture one time that we shared on here. I think it was for not hospital. I don't know. But someone sent us like a really gnarly picture one time. And I was like, okay, surely you can't outdo it. But this 1,000,000,000% outdoes it.
I've never seen anything like this. This is horrific.
And you said there's maggots?
Okay,
I
so
literally screamed in the kitchen.
hold on. I'm personally not a healthcare worker, but my mom is a nurse, and one of her stories has stuck with me because it's nasty as fuck. Okay, well now it's sticking with us and literally anyone who watches this.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I guess an older lady came in who was a diabetic to get checked out and had some issues with her foot. After checking her out, they noticed she had cut her foot pretty bad. But being diabetic, sometimes you can lose sensation in your feet and you won't notice stuff like that when it happens. I did not know that was true.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Sorry for this.
Because you hear about this all the time, actually, about like diabetic people having like
the going numb or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Because I guess what it is that I actually just heard this on a show. A comedian was talking about it. But like what happens is that the blood stops flowing in your feet. And so it will just pool on the bottom of your feet. And that's how diabetics lose their feet is because the blood will literally just pool on the bottom of your feet. And that's why there's swelling.
Right.
And so
that's why.
Sorry for burping.
if the blood sits there for too long and doesn't circulate back into your body,
How, are you supposed to like move your feet to make that happen? Or that's just
you have to I don't know, you have to do it right.
Okay.
And I guess blood sugar helps regulate the flow. I don't know.
okay. So Lee's giving us a breakdown on.
Okay, Lee's a doctor, but all I know to be true is that's
so
really
hold
fucked
on.
up.
Her foot was infected and necrotic. Ew.
Necrotic is
fucking necrotic.
That just like brought like tears to my eyes.
I mean, this foot looks rotting.
Yeah.
And then the next sentence is, there were maggots living in the wound and eating her foot.
Oh, that is insidious.
I guess this isn't too uncommon for diabetics. Sadly, I found a picture on Google of maggots eating a diabetic guy's foot and attached it.
And
so
y'all,
you
that
can
picture
see
is the worst picture I've ever
that's
seen.
not
Just
the
how nasty.
patient, that's
It's
just
not.
what it was.
It's.
This shit
She
really
did her
is.
field research. Yeah.
This is horror. There are fucking maggots in this foot. The foot is an open fucking wound.
And it's black.
And it's like black, but there's like skin is like eroding off of it, and there's maggots.
Well, because it's probably just old blood sitting there. It's probably like,
How do you not feel
my
this?
God.
How do you not notice? Don't you look at your feet?
That's so grotesque.
if you can't feel it.
But if
and
you
he's
can't
probably
feel
a
it-
fat man. He's
No,
probably
she's an
fat.
older woman, right?
Yeah.
But
So if you can't feel it and you can't.
How
can't
often are you
see.
like looking? Well,
Like,
I don't know. I'm gonna start checking every single day.
I'm fat enough. I don't see the bottom of my feet ever.
you don't look. I'm looking
What
at
about when you like
everything.
lotion up? Time to start lotioning up.
I don't.
You don't
lotion
look at
my
your feet?
I don't really look at my feet that often.
I look at my feet all fucking time.
I cut my toes. I cut my toenails occasionally.
Okay, so Lee has a fucking maggot
Okay, Lee
foot.
has maggots on his feet. That's all I know to be
Lee
true.
has maggots on his feet. Lee has maggots on his feet.
You got to get it fixed before your next date. Okay,
That was horrific.
No, I do. I wash my feet. I don't think I look at them though.
that's
Time to start a looking.
Yes, start looking. Oh my
Time
god! In
to
high school,
start-
I felt like I just had like glass in my foot, and I was just like la 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 whatever. I was always walking around barefoot, like whatever. Anyways, one day I like look at my foot, and that's how I discovered I had a plantar's wart. It's like like when it like protrudes out. It was so fucking disgusting. Had to get it frozen off.
That's so gnarly. Okay, can I read this fucking story? This one that I was meant to read? Or Huck, do you want to read the next one?
I want to read a short one.
Please.
Hi, honks and hentai Lee. Okay, not everyone doing hentai. One day we'll unleash. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyways, my dad is a doctor and my mom is a nurse. Okay,
Wow,
that's giving
okay.
privilege. So I'm just kidding. So they both have some crazy stories, but these two always stick with me. Story one. My dad was working in the ER when he was a young doctor, and one night an ambulance dropped off a stabbing victim. My dad and his team worked on the patient, but unfortunately he died.
Mm.
Once my dad finished with the diseased patient and walked back out to the main ER area, he sees the exact same patient he had just watched die, covered in blood and hysterical.
What?
My dad was delirious from working all night and freaked out that he had imagined the entire thing or something. Then the guy screams, "Where's my brother?" It turns out the dead guy's identical twin brother was the one that had stabbed him to death.
What?
So fucking crazy. That's very eerie.
Whoa.
I know, right?
His twin brother stabbed him to death?
Stabbed him to death. Yeah. And then showed up in the
Whoa.
hospital. It was like, ugh. Story number two. My dad did a
Whoa.
psych rotation while in medical school and treated a patient who tried to kill herself by jumping off a bridge. He asked her what went through her head as she was falling, thinking she'd have something profound to say. But she said the only thing going through her mind mid-fall was, "Fuck, this is taking forever." Kind of funny, also very dark.
Whoa.
Wow.
Just join the Patreon and seriously love every episode. You guys are the best.
Oh.
Cute.
How do you not die from jumping off a bridge?
A lot of times that actually doesn't happen because the fall, like if it's not high enough, or if
Really?
if you're jumping into like water or a field of grass or something, it's not going to,
Or you can just break your legs. Like your legs can like break your
or you can
fall.
become paralyzed.
Yeah.
Whoa. I wonder if she's still alive and if she regrets it.
I know. That would be a really cool interview.
That's so fucking gnarly.
I know. Both of those stories short but very, very good.
Packed a punch.
Had to do a palate cleanse.
These are great stories.
These
These
are
are
great
incredible stories. I'm really fucking happy.
Yeah.
So
Except for that foot. That's too much.
So this is I want to keep this anonymous as possible since I'm telling other people's stories. So feel free to read it either episode if you do end up reading it. Okay, here we go. So a few weeks ago when you guys talked about doing a healthcare worker episode, I got so excited to write in because I worked at an abortion clinic for years and I can rarely tell my stories because they have to be so anonymous.
So that's one thing we didn't even talk about, which I'm surprised we didn't talk about in the beginning.
our
We
rights were
didn't
taken
even-
away. Yeah.
Because I'm Italian now.
'cause you're
Yeah, she's Italian, so
You're not
she-
even American.
Well,
yeah.
you have dual
And
citizenship.
abortions are legal in Italy, so I don't need to think
Oh,
about it.
and something really fun and cute, along with abortions being illegal, this is also going to affect IVFs because when you do IVF, you know, you have to inject a certain amount of embryos because you're losing 5 embryos at a time or whatnot. That also counts as, you guessed it, murder. So,
What?
yep.
Fuck off.
And if it doesn't take
stupid.
right, if it doesn't like seat right, you have you it's technically abortion if it doesn't like there's certain procedures.
You're quote
that are
unquote wasting
technically
embryos,
abortion.
but
So
yeah.
here's the thing, you guys. I'm sure that everybody who listens to this podcast is probably leaning left and supports abortion. But if you don't, I hope this story changes your mind. Okay. So the Supreme Court shit happened, and these stories are a little sadder, but maybe even more important. So I'm submitting them anyway. Trigger warning: rape, incest, violence. But I'll end on a funny note. Oh, so that none of those. Laugh a
I
second.
like that, like trigger warning, but don't worry, I got you in the end.
I also like
Okay.
that she thinks that none of those subjects aren't funny.
Yeah, it's like you just said incest. Do you know
You
your
said
audience?
rape, you said incest, you said violence.
And you know rape's my favorite thing.
You just said like
that was punchline after punchline
I know.
after punchline.
I was like getting hornier and hornier.
I'm laughing.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
fucking
having. I was like, don't stop. And then she's like, and then I'll get funny at the end. I was like, boner kill. Yeah.
I'm saying that was okay. Here we go.
All right.
Here are some of my stories. A 14-year-old Amish girl. She worked in an abortion clinic. Okay, so a 14-year-old
Sorry,
Amish girl.
1 second. Okay.
14-year-old Amish girl was raped by someone in her family and got pregnant. She's 14. Her family collectively decided to allow her to have an abortion, even though they did not believe in it, and she agreed. Yes, even Amish get abortions. This appointment required an entire legal team to schedule because she had no photo ID or photo ever taken of her. So we could not verify her identity in any normal legal way. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure she didn't even have a birth certificate and definitely had never seen a doctor. At first, I debated including this one on here because it's so specific and I want to keep it as anonymous as possible. But then I realized there probably aren't any Amish people listening to Tea Time. And if there are,
right.
who are you?
Yeah.
If you're
Let us
Amish and
know.
you're listening to us in secret,
Literally let us know.
please let us know.
Dude, this is wild. I love whoever wrote this in. This is really good. Speaking of, patients who are actively against abortions would schedule abortions. They would call us names, say they hated abortion and everything it stood for. Well, we fucking hate you.
Fuck off.
You fucking fuck off. You fucking hear this. You hear these kinds of fucking stories and you're like, well, God still has a plan. Fuck you. A 14-year-old girl gets fucking raped by a family member.
Also, you know what? Let's say that was God's plan. It's a shitty fucking plan.
Hey, it's a shitty fucking plan.
Fuck God's plan.
Fuck God's plan if that's their fucking plan. Bullshit on my fucking tits. Can you not support abortion? Eat my fucking ass, bitch.
I want to circle back to the protest appointments. That's insane. They would schedule appointments for abortions and then go in and yell at the doctor.
You want to be the fucking 14-year-old getting fucking raped by somebody in your family? Eat my fucking dick. Who do these people think they fucking are? Who
It's
do
just
they think they
religious
fucking
freedom
are?
is such a fucking sham too.
and it
Because
happens
like,
all the time.
All
It
the
doesn't
time.
happen
oh, of
within
course
religion,
it does. But that's what I'm saying. It's like,
These are like putrid people. I don't even give a fuck if you think that you're doing the right thing. How the fuck can you look past what people are actually going through and be like, but the child's life was sacred? Suck dick. What about the child that just got fucking raped?
God. And on Twitter right now, there's like all these, everyone's like making fun of it, but there's all these people that were like going to the protest being like, well, we'll adopt your baby. Like, don't do it. Like, we'll adopt your baby. And I'm like, hey, guess what? Bitch, there's fucking hundreds of thousands of kids up for adoption right now.
Such a fucking people can
That's
fuck off with
also a
this.
traumatic thing to have your baby adopted.
It's-
like,
Yeah.
that's like almost more traumatic because then it's like, well, then the baby's out there and
Yes.
you're like missing something from your life that you didn't
to
want
carry that for
exist.
9 months and then it's like,
Also, I'm so sick of the fucking
can't.
narrative that like people think that like, especially like, you know, people think that like the left thinks that like, oh, when you take an abortion, it's just like a little vacay, scootily beep, beep, beep. It's like, no, it's extremely fucking traumatic.
Nobody wants a fucking, and that's the thing about the
no one's having a fucking, no one thinks it's funny. No one's having a fucking gag.
I mean, and we make jokes out of it because that's the only way we can fucking cope with the tragedy of having to get an abortion. But fuck off. Like, I can't with these people who are like, I think that the left is just like, making, like, it's like, no, I mean, it's traumatizing. You fucking joke about it.
Also, I want to say this too. Obviously, that story is so heartbreaking and awful. But like, let's say that you're just like a fucking just a girl who got pregnant and just simply like with consensual sex and just doesn't want the kid. That's just as valid as that story. You don't need to have this traumatic, horrific backstory to your abortion.
And that's also absolutely true.
Well, because if you're not ready to support a child, it can be a traumatic event as well.
It's a traumatic event for the mother, for the child.
You're leading yourself up for a traumatic lifetime that's then passed on through generations of that.
100%.
I wish I could remember what my fucking brother was just saying about this. No, he thinks it's ridiculous, but he was saying, because I was like, why the fuck can this happen? But he was like, essentially, it's like, you know, that phrase, like, how you get them is how you lose them. Like, when it comes to dating, essentially, that's what happened with this, because the Supreme Court, I believe, did this 7 or 8 years ago. I'd have to check, whatever. But, you know, almost 10 years ago, the Supreme Court made the decision to, you know, make abortion for everyone. And then that's why they were also able to take it away. And he's like, the Supreme Court shouldn't be dealing with laws and like in that jurisdiction.
Okay.
No, you judge on cases, and then laws should be written from that.
Yes,
and
that's what he was saying.
The Democrats 100% dropped the fucking ball on this, and honestly, I blame Democrats for letting us get to this point because they're fucking.
Democrats are embarrassing.
They are.
It's that you're fumbling the bag.
Honk clowns.
Honk fucking clowns.
Do nothing, spineless losers who can't win a fucking election to
Speak
save
on
their
it.
goddamn lives.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
So I guess we go right.
We go independent.
Don't worry, we've got 10 more paragraphs on this, so please strap in.
Okay. I'm done fake coughing. Go.
My also favorite part about all of this is that you're coughing directly into the mic the entire episode. You could just like...
I'm not cutting any of it out.
I hope you don't. Here's the thing. That one, I did just realize I could have coughed over here.
Yeah, but
I don't really know why I keep... Because you're my honk, and like I want to look at you at all times. It would it would break my heart.
Cut reel
of just her coughing.
Yeah, that's going to be the promo for this episode.
Okay, so she goes, "It sounds made up." I honestly do that.
Okay.
It sounds made up, but it really happened. People can be so delusional. They believe in something when it's hypothetical, and then when it's actually happening to them, they think they are somehow excluded from their own moral arguments. It's truly. I talked to a lot of nasty and mean parents of teens who were scheduling abortions. They would stay adamant that abortion was evil, but that it was okay for their kid to have an abortion because she needs it. Give me a fucking break. It was not uncommon for women in domestic violence situations to have back-to-back abortions. Oh. After you have an abortion, you are actually extra fertile, like birth. You are not supposed to have sex for a certain period of time after having an abortion. But there were a lot of patients who either A, couldn't tell their partner they had an abortion, therefore couldn't tell them why they couldn't have sex. Oh my God. Or B, their partner would rape them anyway. It's actually sick how frequent this happened. And it really opened my mind to not judge someone for the number of abortions they've had in their lifetime. It's not always a choice, it's a survival. Fuck. The doctors at the clinic all had horror stories of physical assault or death threats. Some of our doctors had their own security team that had to follow them everywhere they traveled, including to and from work. These people need to get fucking lives. Mm-hmm. Fuck off.
Also, it's like you are. It's just the irony and the hypocrisy is so blatant and disgusting. It's like, I'm gonna threaten to kill you,
yeah,
because you're performing abortions.
Yeah,
yeah, cool.
Why do they also give such a fuck? That's the other thing. I just
Get a
don't.
fucking life, you fucking loser. Literally get a fucking life.
It's so bizarre. I just don't understand. Okay, so
Because religion is a fucking cult.
because it is. A doctor at a neighboring clinic had completely disfigured skin all over both hands because someone came into the clinic and poured burning acid on her hands one time.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Even as someone who only answered phone calls, I would receive similar threats. I had people ask my location and then threaten to come assault me. Some were patients. What? And when I
Maybe
would
the fake patients.
Yeah.
and when I would talk about being pro-abortion online, I would constantly receive death threats. We were also always getting screamed at by protesters on our way to work. Our security team for our network of clinics actually used to work for a president's secret service. That's how intense it was. All of our newer clinics were built to be bomb-proof, bulletproof, and even graffiti-proof. The security was no fucking joke.
Wow.
I'm like having a really hard time processing all of this because I'm so fucking angry.
Mm-hmm.
How are
Well, it's like, freedom of speech and freedom to like protest or whatever. Like it goes both ways. Like we can protest them taking it away just the same as they can fucking protest the right to do it. But it is amazing to me that like they're getting away with with doing death threats. I hope those people fucking
I hope they
go to
rot.
fucking
I hope
hell
they
and
fucking
jail.
rot. We would receive calls and walk-ins from fake patients who were actually Christian anti-choice groups trying to catch us doing something illegal or saying the wrong thing. They would record our phone calls and try to sneak cameras in their purses when they came in. They often used teen girls to pretend to be patients, yet somehow we were the immoral ones.
Like, what the fuck do they think is going on in there? Like
That they're
there's
that they're stabbing babies to
They
death.
think that like
They're like-
9-month pregnant women are coming in there
And they're all having
extracting
fun,
the baby
just,
and like decapitating the baby, which
Swinging
honestly would be funny.
Yeah, honestly would be. Swinging it around by its fucking head. Just,
So getting the umbilical cord going, oh, we got a fresh one,
we got
boys!"
her, and the mom standing on the fucking table being like
like a banshee,
"Kill it,
squirting her
kill it."
fucking milky tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it out of here.
This is what the
They think it's the wild, wild west. They think it's a fucking saloon.
and
You
then,
like walk
they
in.
throw them, and then they play basketball in the back with their little fucking bodies.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
They think it's like bobbing for apples and dead baby heads.
Yeah, they do. They think this is what's going on.
Yeah, you think that's what's going the fuck on?
I'm like, I can't.
You really cleared that up for me. Thanks.
Now you know.
But here's the thing,
This
I
is
just-
actually what we do.
Honk, and
I've
I
never had
just-
an abortion, but you know.
Me either yet. But I do think that okay, so
And I can't imagine how fucking scary it would be. By the
yeah, because
way.
it's not just that. Oh my God. I went with
I would get one now if I got pregnant.
Yeah.
I would have to. Like, I would have to. I don't have the financial support. Like, even though I have a great boyfriend, like, he isn't ready. I don't have the fucking, my career is not where I need it to be. I don't have any fucking money.
Mhm.
You know, like, there's just no way. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have you're gonna have a baby in the honk house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to
Yeah.
take it on fucking stage with me.
hmm
You know?
If you had a kid now, it would be more or less like feral.
It would be I would have a feral child.
Mhm.
Well, and that's how a lot of people are. A lot of people in poor communities have straight up feral children.
Yeah. Because it's a cyclical
Because
fucking
they
thing.
have to work. They have to work 80 hours a week to make it
it work.
ends meet.
Yeah.
So-
Well, okay. So I went with a person one time to get an abortion, and the nurse in the room, this is not even at the abortion clinic. I didn't go there. I went just like to the hospital to like make sure she was pregnant with her. And the nurse was like, "You are, congratulations." And I was like, I thought we were overdoing that. And she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, can you please give me some options to like, take care of it?" And she's like, "Oh, there's other options. Like, you don't have to do that." And it was like kind of like giving her pushback
Such
for
bullshit.
it.
It's
And I'm like,
such bullshit.
shut the fuck up. Like, I stepped up and I spoke up for her, but I was like,
It's so fucked up that the nurses can step in and do shit like that.
yeah.
Fuck you.
So one of the AV companies I worked for back in Maine was had religious undertones, and because the owners of the company and the person who created the company was very religious, and he was Salvationist, which is the Salvation Army, which is like this weird
Don't be
sect of
called that.
Christianity, and so we had a lot of contracts with these very Christian organizations, and one was this pro-life organization that set up clinics that masqueraded as like family planning clinics, and would just exist to talk people out of abortion.
Are you kidding me?
And they have no medical basis at all.
How is that legal?
They're not even licensed to give medical treatment, and they just exist to masquerade as family planning to talk people out of
Why do people
abortion.
give such a fuck?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like in that obviously
So
this is like
many people
extreme.
too.
No,
So
there's
many people.
To set up organizations like that. Yeah. It's insane.
So many fucking
Well,
people.
in that documentary, Keep Sweet, about the Latter-day Saint
Mhm.
Mormons, like, I don't think they're the ones going out and do. I mean, like, I feel like it's kind of similar to Jehovah's Witnesses, right? I think, but like, what I know to be true is that like in their community, they're so focused on control and whatnot. And like, it's just crazy, like what people are doing. Like they're all doing this because like they want to do right by God. But I'm like, it's this like religious extremism that is so, I'm like, you're trying so hard to like, quote unquote, do the right thing that you're just winding up being fucking evil.
Being monsters. And it's, okay. So don't worry, we've still got more. Some of the saddest calls I took were patients who were trying to schedule an abortion, but were almost at the limit of how many weeks in your pregnancy you could get an abortion. This was usually the 22 to 24 week mark. One that really stuck with me, even after all these years, a woman had found out her fetus was dying, and she was one day away from being 22 weeks pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
This was a wanted pregnancy because it's still considered an abortion if you choose to remove a literal dead or dying fetus. That's so sad. You have to follow all the laws, waiting periods, etc., and you have to find a doctor who is actually trained to perform the procedure. To give you an idea of how few doctors are trained in this, outside of major hubs like New York City and parts of California, lucky for you guys, this was in part of the US where there was only one doctor who could do this in a range of about 3 or 4 states. One. And in this patient's unfortunate luck, that doctor was in a different state and could not get back to the patient's state in time. I had to tell this patient that she was going to have to give fucking birth to a dead fetus. I'll never forget that. I cried on the phone with her. Her OBGYN was crying in the background, wishing she could just perform the procedure herself, but she didn't have the training to do it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's fucking horrific.
That's so fucking horrific.
A dying fetus, like, that's horrific.
That's crazy that that's also considered an abortion, or like that's also like what's being made illegal. Like that's like why this is so fucking severe.
It's so severe.
And that's where the law needs to step in to redefine these things.
Yes.
Let's work around it by redefining what an abortion is. And the difference between a medical procedure and an abortion.
Yeah.
Right.
And
there was something dead
there was-
inside of you.
and
That's
there was
a medical procedure.
That's a medical
It's
procedure.
not
And it was a wanted pregnancy. And then there's one doctor in 4 states. That's unacceptable in this modern age. That's unacceptable.
I know, this is insane. These are some insane fucking stories. These are insane.
That's bone
stories.
chilling.
That
That's
is bone chilling.
And it's just, and also just like reading that, and I'm sure she felt this too, but like just reading this, like this, the level of like helplessness you feel.
The heaviness of like reading this and just like imagining like what this woman is going through, realizing that she's gonna have to give birth to a dead fetus while like there's nothing anybody can do.
And she's mentioned, so she was about to be 22 weeks.
Right.
And then there was still like a waiting period. So who knows how many weeks went by until she had to like birth this.
Well, and there's a
Right.
and then it's like, okay, so the doctor can't get there in time. It's like, even if the doctor could get there in time, she was right on the edge. She had a complication, and now it's like, oh, it's normal to not be able to make a doctor's appointment for a week or two.
Yeah.
You know?
No, of course. Of course.
That's really
God.
heavy. That's a horrific story. That's a horrific story. And as promised, some funny stories from the clinic. Well, let's get right back into it. I also used to schedule our vasectomy procedures because honestly, have every man get one. Because I scheduled abortions and vasectomies, it was hard not to not compare the two. And let me tell you, men were consistently more afraid and squeamish than women were for a procedure that is actually less invasive. And guess what? They're also reversible.
You heard it here first.
There are no scalpels, no anesthesia, just some local anesthetic and a couple pokes into the ball sack. Men would constantly chicken out at the last second, fucking pussies. Just some reschedule their appointment for later and then cancel that one, and the cycle would continue. And yes, sometimes in that time frame, they would impregnate their partner, and their partner would get an abortion. The irony. Our clinic did some data and found that men post vasectomy would stay in the recover area an average of 5 times longer than women getting an abortion. LOL. I'm fucking blown away by this.
I am, but yet I'm not.
I know. This is insane. When I would schedule,
It's just disappointing to
it
hear. You're just
really
like, it's
fucking
I
is.
just like this episode. It's like, you know what? I just feel like beaten down. I'm
I do
like,
too.
okay,
I feel like
maybe
fucking
it's the
beaten down.
COVID too, but you feel it too. So
No,
I don't know. I'm like,
I'm
all
fucking.
right.
I'm mad and I'm exhausted.
Exhausted.
When I would schedule their
Unreal.
appointments, they would ask me questions like, "Well, I need to take a month off work."
A month off
month?
work. You stupid fucking
Sir,
asshole.
you will be good after a couple of days at the most. Anyway, the point of this story is just not to laugh at men. It also makes you realize how much pain women are used to putting up with.
Mm-hmm.
Even teenage girls who have never even really had pap smears would be less afraid than some of the grown-ass men I talk to scheduling a procedure. Really goes to show the amount of shit we put up with as women and how easy breezy men have it when it comes to their bodies and pain. Men, please show up to your vasectomy appointments. It won't be less painful if you do it later. I promise. Wow. That was the end.
And then you need to dump like 25 loads or something after to like, because you're still fertile within like the first.
Oh, really?
Within the first so many, yeah.
Not 25.
Oh, and then you have to just
loads.
keep coming.
So
Oh,
it gives you permission to just like.
oh, you have to jack off.
no, you have to be a cum king after your surgery. No.
Meanwhile, the woman who just got a fucking abortion is bleeding out into a fucking
Yeah.
diaper.
She literally has egg yolk fucking like
Pussy.
coming out of her.
Pussy fucking dilated.
And she's like, all right, gotta go pick up,
Yeah.
you know.
Gotta go to work.
Yeah, gotta go get the groceries. Like,
Are you fucking kidding me?
yeah, my friend worked a shift the day after getting her fucking shit rocked.
Hey, I had
And these guys are like,
Oh, do I have to take a month off? Uh-oh. I'm not sure if I want you to touch my bits. Please.
How am I going to play video games with my friends?
How am I going to sexually assault my wife if you touch my balls?
hold up. I had a fucking Uber driver the other day who is from Egypt. Shout out to my people. And
Homeland.
he was telling me that he moved here 10 years ago because he has daughters. And him and his wife made the decision to leave Egypt because of how women are raised there. You know, essentially, if you're a Muslim girl, he was Christian, but like, you know, in a Muslim country, it's very difficult to be a woman. Anyway, so he moved to the US and was telling us that like, he knows that like there's going to be more opportunity here for his girls. Because when you're like, you know, when you graduate college, I believe in Egypt, the first thing that you have to do is like, you're just groomed to get a husband and have kids. Like that is what, and he's like, that's how I met my wife. Like she was groomed to be a wife.
Well, that's what
And
Republicans want.
That is what they want. And then he also was saying that like on the wedding night in a lot of these like families, the man, you know, fucks the wife and he has to fuck her on a white towel and show everybody at the marriage party at the wedding that there's blood on the towel to show that she was a pure virgin. And he was saying in, you know, in some parts of Egypt, or like this happens pretty consistently, he said like within like with like farmers and shit there, that then when the women don't bleed after they lose their virginity, the fathers are entitled to kill them.
Yes.
And that does happen.
Yes.
Which you don't always fucking bleed.
You
Yeah,
sure
I didn't
don't.
bleed when I lost my virginity.
Yeah.
I didn't either. So we would have been dead.
Yes, we would have died. How fucking nuts. Like, this is how much, like, the world is just against women. This is
can
what
we just-
Republicans want, by the way.
Yeah, which is insane because they're so against like Muslim culture. They just want it to be Christian.
Yeah.
They just want all the same things labeled
Hey,
Christian.
knock, knock. It's all the fucking same.
It's all the same.
And B, can we have a Democrat with a pair of fucking balls? Like run. Can we have a cool lawyer who can like talk? And,
Yeah, can we have someone who is not 87 years old who has like half his head falling off? Can we have like someone with like an ounce of
No,
dignity?
because they're all fucking corrupt when they get to that point.
I know,
Yeah.
it's insane. It's like they all just want to be fucking TikTok stars.
Yeah, they do.
It's crazy.
Well, guys,
that concludes another fantastic episode of Tea Time.
fantastic episode indeed.
We have a lot of stories left, so I can't wait to get back to those. We'll circle back in one of our catch-up episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
You guys sent a lot of good stories.
All right, you guys, send this to your most conservative friend. Send this to, honestly, I fucking dare you to send this to your fucking conservative family members because, you know, we always fucking trick them in the beginning and then surprise, surprise, we're going to step on your throat. We love to see it. Yeah, it's just please share this podcast, you guys. We don't have money to do PR yet for ourselves. So we need you little groundhogs. I don't know why I just called you guys that. I have COVID. Thank you. We need you guys to help spread the word. So yeah, just
Please
share this podcast.
come out to our live show July 14th in San Diego at the Acid Vault downtown San Diego.
Yes.
It's being hosted by Rift City. They have, I mean, whatever, go through. You can go on our website, get tickets. You can go on their website, get tickets.
The ticket link is available.
Yes.
It's in the link of our Instagram, which go and follow our Instagram. That's Tea Time 42069 on Instagram. And join us on Patreon.
And
I dare you to
sorry,
join us
I
on
created
Patreon.
the email before we had this podcast all together, and I made the email teatimestories at 42069@gmail.com.
I love that you did that.
Because Tea Time, there's other Tea Times.
Too many
so
tea
it's like, yeah.
For 2069.
Wow, wow,
Wow. Bye, guys.
wow.